How do you get to Mars? If you want to send a spacecraft all the way to Mars, first you'll need a fast rocket to escape the pull of Earth's gravity. The heavier your spacecraft, the more powerful your rocket needs to be to lift off. Next, make sure you launch at the right time. Mars and Earth orbit the Sun at different speeds and distances. Sometimes they're really far apart, and other times they come closer together. About every 2 years, the two planets are in perfect positions to get to Mars with the least amount of rocket fuel. That's important. The total trip is over 300 million miles. Finally, make sure your aim is right. You can't shoot for where Mars is at launch time. You have to aim for where it will be when you get there. It's a lot like how a quarterback passes a football. Also, you may need a few thrusts to correct your direction along the way so you don't miss Mars. If all goes well, you'll get to the red planet in about 7 or 8 months.
Hey friends, welcome back. Mr. O here. This week we continue our journey through the cosmos by exploring our neighbor, Mars. Many Earthlings believe that Mars is drastically different from our own planet. But you might be surprised on how much the red planet, Mars, and the pale blue dot, Earth, have in common. Although you couldn't walk on Mars without a proper spacesuit, Mars and Earth have many similarities. For starters, both are considered terrestrial planets or rocky planets. Because of this hard outer crust, humans are able to build and live on its surface. But that's not all. Mars also rotates on a tilted axis, which means it has 4 seasons, just like planet Earth. So with all these similarities, of course people want to go there. But how can we travel over 30 million miles? The answer? Rockets. To learn more, let's go to our home science experiment. Rockets have launched spacecrafts to every planet in our solar system, and each rocket has been very unique. However, there are 3 important parts to every rocket. We have the fuselage, or the body, which is used to carry items such as gasoline. The fins help with stabilization and directing the rocket. Finally, the nose cone helps the rocket easily cut through the air. Its pointed shape minimizes the amount of force or drag pulling on the rocket. Our rocket build today only requires a few materials, and it's a quick build. You'll need some construction paper, normal Scotch tape, something cylindrical like a bottle or a stick. Today we're using PVC pipe, some scissors to help cut some things up, and finally, if you want to have some fun with the design, grab some markers. Our first step is going to be building the fuselage. Take one piece of construction paper, roll over something cylindrical. Make it a little stronger by giving some tape. As long as you have a nice, cool cylinder, you should be good to go. Next, we want to make our fins. We get the opportunity to do whatever kind of fins that you want. I'm going to take my fin, I'm going to place it right there on my tube. And if you want, you can fold your fins. So we have our fuselage, our fins. Take a marker. We're just gonna make a circle. We're gonna cut out 25%. Cut out the circle, cut this out. Take these 2 sides and we're gonna bring them together, causing a nice cone. We need to attach it to our rocket. Set your rocket down on its base. If you wanna spend some time decorating your rocket, feel free to grab a marker and voila. We have a rocket. Scientists and engineers are learning more and more about Mars all the time. For example, liquid water was discovered on Mars this past July. So, how do we learn more about Mars? Engineers build rovers and landers to experiment on things like rocks, while scientists study and examine the samples provided by the rovers and landers. The next rover being launched to Mars will be in the year 2020, but it needs a really cool name. And that's where NASA could use your help. Check out nasa.gov to submit your own creative name or help vote on other cool names. I'm Mr. O, and this episode on Mars has been out of this world.